Welcome to our video on basic resource configuration. We start off on our resources homepage. Now let's take a look at the resource properties. We can access that menu by selecting our resource menu, configuration and properties. If we scroll down, we see which department the resource has been assigned to. We see which role they've been assigned to. We can then look at configuration by clicking here. And here, under user group, we can define what user group this resource is a member of. This is obviously very important as it determines that resource's access rights, such as what menus are accessible or what type of information they will have access to. Access rights can be predefined and they can be easily modified as needed. Here, we can define who will approve their timesheets and their expense reports. Next, let's take a look at finance. So we'll click on our finance menu. We see up here that the resource's fully burdened cost of $50. We see their hourly rate, which is set to $100, and this can be set to a default value. We can define here how many hours we expect this resource to work in a normal day. Here we're defining it to be 8 hours per day. Here, if we check the timesheet variance control, we can hold them accountable to any variance in the hours they submit from the normal hours per day that we just defined back up here. And at the very bottom, we can select which wage categories this resource is authorized to edit. So here they're allowing them to edit comp time, vacation, overtime, illness, additional services, on leave, etc. Now this is very important as we may want to restrict some employees from entering information into a category such as overtime. We would then hit save. Now let's look at wage accumulators. So we can select it over here. Now we can easily adjust vacation time, for example, by just adding time to it here. So there's the adjustment column. We can add 5. We enter a description. They earned it. And here we see that it's been updated to 19. And when we hit save, the current balance will adjust to 19 as well. We'll hit save. And we see that our current account balance is now 19 for vacation. Now that we have configured the resource, let's look at their timesheet. So we'll click on the timesheet icon up here. So we look over here and we see that the expected hours for this resource has been set to 40 hours per week, which of course is defined by the 8 hours per day that we set times a 5-day work week. If we were to submit this right now with 0 hours plugged in here, we would get an error message stating that our variance is too great. And we can see our variance is minus 40 hours. We see at the bottom here, in our wage categories that we had checked off before, that we have the ability to type in some time, we'll do 1 here, 1 here. And at the very bottom, our vacation wage accumulator reflects 19, which is what we just adjusted it for. So as you can see, it is very easy to configure our resource. Thank you very much.